Hey, what's up? This is Will Powers from Evolution of Man, and what I want to talk to you about today is how to approach any girl with confidence when you're out and about during the daytime. And this could be if she's walking down the street, if she's at a coffee shop, in a bookstore, grocery store, whatever. And I'm going to give you 3 different openers that actually work. I'm also going to explain to you why they work. So make sure you watch to the end of the video, because the 3rd opener is my personal favorite and works really well with girls in coffee shops. So let's go ahead and jump into it. The first opener is a very simple direct opener, meaning that there's no beating around the bush and you're being very clear with your intentions and communicating that you are sexually and romantically interested in the girl. In other words, you're talking to her as a man to a woman. So that opener goes something like this. Imagine the girl's walking down the street or something. You're gonna stop her and be like, "Excuse me. I know this is super random, but I just saw you walking and I thought you were absolutely adorable. I had to come say hi or I knew I'd regret it. Hi, I'm Will." And then you shake her hand and introduce yourself. So this opener works for a few different reasons. One, because if you call a girl, if she's super hot and you call a girl adorable, then it kind of knocks her off her pedestal a little bit. Because most guys are calling her pretty and beautiful and gorgeous and stunning. So it makes her kind of wonder why you're not calling her one of those things, and kind of makes her second guess how attractive she is to you. It also frames her to you as less intimidating and more approachable and more attainable, and just basically helps you to see her as not out of your league. Because if you're like, "Oh, you're adorable," then it's like you're not going to feel as nervous or intimidated, even though you might think like, "Wow, she's fucking gorgeous." It helps you to kind of like see her in a different light. So another reason is because it's also like kind of charming to call a girl adorable, and it makes her feel more feminine, that particular word. So I really like that word, adorable. So another reason it works really well is because it's honest. Because like personally, when I walk up to a girl and I tell her that I would regret not approaching her, I mean that shit. Because I really feel like, for me as a man, I would regret it. I'd be like, "Damn, I should have done that. I didn't, so I'd regret it." So for me, it's really honest to say that I would regret it. Now, you shouldn't be saying this if you don't mean it, because really you want to be saying these things sincerely, and you want to really mean them when you say them, because that's how they're going to have the real impact that they potentially can have. Otherwise, it's not going to feel sincere. The girl's going to see through that. But if it is sincere, she's going to feel like, "Wow, this guy's actually honest, he's being vulnerable, and he's confident, and he's also sincere," right? So all those things are really good. Another reason it works really well is because if you do it right and you talk slowly, you don't rush through the approach, and you feel grounded in yourself and you're pausing, then it builds a lot of tension, and the girl's kind of wondering what you're going to say. She's hanging on the words, she's captivated, so it builds a lot of tension. And it also sub-communicates to the girl that basically you expect the interaction to go positively, and you expect that she's going to respond positively to you, because you've had a lot of other girls in the past respond positively to you when you've approached them, and that girls in general respond positively to you. And not just any girl, but girls of her same level of attractiveness. So those are all the sub-communications of what's happening with an approach like that. So a slight variation of this opener is something like, "Excuse me, I know this is super out of the blue, but I just saw you and I thought you were absolutely adorable. I had to come see if you were any good at flirting. Hi, I'm Will." Right? And so the reason why this variation is so powerful is because it adds a little bit of a challenge to the girl. Because when you approach her like that and with these direct openers, the reality is you are kind of giving away a lot of your power. You're giving her a lot of validation very quickly. So when you add this kind of challenge at the end of the opener, it kind of takes some of your power back, and now you're challenging the girl and you're letting her know, like, yeah, you are really good looking, you're adorable, but that's not enough. You also have to be really good at flirting if you want a chance with me, right? If you want to be able to win me over, which ties into the prize frame, which I talked about in the 3 Key Mindsets video. If you haven't watched that video, go watch it now or after this video. But the point is that it definitely adds a challenge and it creates a flirtatious vibe. So that's really, really important, right? If you say, like, I had to come see if you were any good at flirting, then it's like, oh, can you match me? Do you have kind of like the wit and banter? Like, are you able to flirt? And that's really good because it just starts off the whole conversation, interaction in a very playful, flirtatious kind of energy. And that will do wonders for your game and for your approaches. So another variation of this same approach is something a little bit similar, where you just add a little cockiness to it, and that's something like this. Excuse me. I know this is kind of crazy, but I just saw you, and I thought you were quite adorable. I had to come say hi, or I knew I'd regret it for the next 10 seconds, right? And so when you're throwing in that I'd regret it for the next 10 seconds, you're basically letting the girl know that she's not that serious. Like, yeah, you would have regretted it, and she is attractive to you, but you're also not tripping too hard. And it's like you're not putting her as much on a pedestal. You're kind of saying, like, yeah, I would have regretted it for a minute, but life goes on. I wouldn't really have tripped because I'm an abundant man with options, and I'm not needy for one opportunity with a girl. So those are the kind of different variations of that approach. They're all very powerful in different ways. So go ahead and just play with them. If you want to throw in a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of cockiness, you could try that. When you're beginning, I suggest you go with just the basic kind of gentlemanly, charming version, and then go from there. So now we're going to move on to the second opener. The second opener is called the directions opener. So this opener is basically something that's kind of an indirect opener, but then it transitions to being a direct opener. And again, the difference between indirect and direct is that indirect, you're not immediately communicating your sexual and romantic interest to the girl. You're kind of under the radar, and then you're transitioning to being direct. So the way this one works is basically you're going to ask the girl for directions, and then you're then going to transition into your actual intentions and compliment the girl. So it goes something like this. Excuse me, do you know where the nearest Starbucks is? And then when the girl starts telling you, just interrupt her and be like, I really don't care about Starbucks. I just thought you were really cute. I had to come say hi. So that actually works really well for a lot of people because of the fact that it creates a kind of playful, spontaneous moment that the girl wasn't expecting. So it kind of catches her off guard. She maybe, she's kind of expecting this kind of boring and mundane interaction, and then she's like kind of surprised by that. So it actually can work pretty fucking well. So play with it and try it out. Me personally, I like to, if I'm gonna go direct, go more fully direct because I feel like it communicates a little more confidence, like you have a little more balls. You don't have to hide behind this kind of indirect, like question about asking for directions. However, it, like I said, works for a lot of people, even people who've been in game for a long time, and it also is a great way to start out and kind of overcome approach anxiety if you're kind of afraid of approaching the girl. And this is a great way to overcome that by using this kind of opener that isn't direct right off the bat. And you'll notice that girls respond really positively to it, so go ahead and try that out. So the third and final opener is my favorite one. This is a jewel I'm about to give you guys right here. So this is again a more direct opener, but it's very unique. So this one is for girls in coffee shops. So imagine that you're walking by a coffee shop and you see a girl through the window, that's super hot. And so what you do is you walk into the coffee shop and either walk up to a table or you tap her on the shoulder and you say, "Excuse me, I know this is kind of random, but I was just walking by and I saw you through the window and I couldn't let a plate of glass stand between me and true love." So this opener is really powerful because it's just really charming. Girls love it. Now this one, I will have to say, is all about the delivery. So if you deliver this wrong, it's going to come off corny, it's going to come off cheesy, and you probably won't get a good response. You might still anyway, just because it's so fucking good. However, you know, if you deliver it right, you will get girls lighting up with this opener because it's just really witty and clever, and it just communicates all the right things if you deliver it right. It's like you're charming, you go after what you want, and you immediately know how to create that romantic vibe, like very, very uniquely with a girl that she's not really experiencing that often. So again, that one works really well. I'll repeat it one more time. So you see a girl in a coffee shop, you're walking by, you see her through the window, you go into that coffee shop, you don't hesitate, right? And you walk up to her. "Excuse me, I was just walking by and I saw you through the window and I couldn't let a plate of glass stand between me and true love." So again, you kind of like, when at the end of the sentence, you're kind of like having a little smirk, you're looking at her a little bit coyly, and that's the key. The key is the body language and the delivery and the inflection of your voice. So practice that one and have fun with it because it's very, very powerful. So that's going to wrap it up for today. As always, if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and smash that subscribe button and click the little bell so you get notified anytime I release a new video so you don't miss any of this fire content that I'm putting out. There's a lot more coming very soon. Also, comment down below. I really want to hear you guys' thoughts on these openers. I want to hear about your results trying all these different kinds of openers out, especially that third one. Really want to hear about that. So make sure you comment down below, and I want to hear about your results and experiences. Also, make sure you share this video with anybody else who you think could use these openers. All right, because let's get these out there. Let's like empower men with these tools so they can really have these openers that they need, and they don't have the excuse to not approach. All right, so that's it. Until next time, Will Powers signing off. Peace.